everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC reality check. We got a whole NXT mess to talk about, and that is Jake fucking DeMarco. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, my friend? I mean, just yeah, a lot of slop in this kitchen today, huh? It's been a wild week. Yesterday was such an amazing evening for TNA, and then late night turned into a media disaster. They had this
Yeah.
great swell up of emotion and social buzz, I guess you could say. Like everyone was going nuts online to the point where it was trending, and now you've got this TNA versus NXT war going on, and
Have you
people are
seen okay,
clamoring
I hate
for
I
it.
hate to go I hate to go here first because it sounds so cheesy, but have you seen the shirts that are already out?
So good. So this is
I'm Team
TNA.
TNA
We are
versus We Are
NXT.
NXT. I mean,
Yes.
the We Are NXT shirts were always a thing, but they're right up at the top of the WWE shop thing
Yeah.
again.
And they're pushing some
I
new
think that's really
designs as
awesome.
well. So that's
Yeah.
interesting.
I think it's and not that you and I haven't mentioned it before, but I was talking to our buddy Nick from the Wrestling for Life Network. Shout out to those guys. Please go donate to their fundraiser. I think it's still ongoing. They have a fundraiser going for the International Bipolar Foundation because of Nick's birthday. Happy late birthday, Nick.
Happy
But we were
birthday.
chatting earlier today, and I just sort of reiterated to him what you and I have said in the past. TNA has always had a rabidly loyal fan base,
Yes.
and NXT, the the audience is smaller. Like, we gotta be real about that. It's not at, like, takeover levels the way it used to be, but I think what that means is you've whittled out, like, who was just sorta dropping in and seeing what NXT was doing, and what you have left is the people that are like, "Okay, this is NXT, and I'm here for the ride."
Yeah.
Put those 2 audiences together, you'll fill a building.
They've been, and they could fill more than just a building. They could fill an
No, but I'm
arena
I'm
at this
saying
point,
like a
yeah.
significant building. The what I
Oh, yeah.
suggested, earlier today was they need to pick some place that's not too huge because they're not like I'm sorry, NXT and TNA are not gonna fill a stadium. It's not.
It's not yet.
I'd like to think so, but it's not. So you pick something of a reasonable size, but also of significance. What I landed on was if you're gonna do the NXT versus TNA pay-per-view, like their version of Worlds Collide, their version of Forbidden Door, whatever you wanna call it, put it at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not gonna do it in Scotiabank so I can go see it,
Mhm.
obviously,
Or the Don
um,
Koloff, right?
or the Don okay, Don Koloff is I like the Don Koloff, but it's small.
It's
And I'm
tiny.
pretty sure they can fill it better than the Don. I'm going there in, like, a month. It's fine, don't worry about it. And I was at
Absolutely.
Scotiabank full of all the stinky AEW fans
You smelt that
for
from your
All Out.
seat up to the other side.
Oh, I saw that Reddit thing, not that we're gonna go off on this. Yes, we have All Out stuff that I could talk about. We'll probably talk about that at a later date. The dude with the Reddit thing about the smelly fans in Scotiabank,
Yeah.
like, it's not a lie, man. And I'm not even trying to like, we're wrestling fans, so
Yeah.
I'm, we're all in the same boat together and all that, but, like, you've said it before, I've said it before, we are not small people.
No.
I'd like to think we don't stink, and the people
Yes.
in my section and the thing is, where the reason I feel even more shitty is because there were some pretty chill people in my section. I had some pretty good conversations that night, but I did it while holding my breath.
Yeah, AEW gets kind of the drab of it too because it is more of like the internet fan as where right now WWE
Yeah.
is generating their content more towards like influencers and social buzz. It's not families and it's not hardcore diehard online wrestling sickos.
Well,
So
WWE is doing a lot more, I don't wanna say generic, that's the wrong type of thing, but more mainstream, casting a
yes,
wider net. You're gonna get a
widespread.
wider like, I don't
Yeah.
think you have, like, one particular stereotype of people that go to a WWE show.
No, but
Whereas the AEW fan base is very AEW, and I will say very, very quickly now that we're on the topic, went to All Out, and the nicest thing I can say is the small handful of things that I was looking forward to on that card mostly delivered, and the rest of it kinda went as predicted.
yeah, as
As
expected.
like,
I didn't
the
love
2
it.
big the 2 big plunder matches, the casket match or sorry, the coffin match and the tables and tacks match,
Yeah.
it was the most again, I was talking to the guys, I think I dropped it in their chat the other night. The way I described it, they were the 2 biggest examples I can think of this is only awesome because I'm here.
Yeah,
And that's the best way I can describe it.
no,
So,
no,
like,
that's exactly it. Because everyone there, you get into like the bloodlust of the arena, you get into
yeah.
like the just the buzz of it all. As where like home, my problem too is like even WWE does it every now and again with like
Mhm.
the Hell in a Cell stuff, but there's a problem when you hit a certain crescendo where you're like, well, where do you go from here? And all right, we put him
Oh,
through the
yeah.
tax. Well, now we're going on the tax again. Well, now we're going to go
Mhm.
even harder on the tax. Well, now there's even more tax. Well, now there's a
I did
table of
like I will
tax.
say,
Like it's just
I did like the way, Mark Briscoe grabbed the bucket right at the beginning and
yes,
just laid everything out, like, right at the beginning. Like, there's no warming up in this match. This is the match. This is what we're doing.
yes, this is
As
going to
a
hurt.
as a launching pad to begin that match, I thought that was really cool because you never wanna have that, like, "Oh, we're just gonna have a collar and elbow tie up, and we're gonna throw some punches, and then somebody's eventually gonna look to their side and remember, 'Oh, yeah, there's weapons. That's why we're here.'" So they didn't do that, and I was credit for that.
Yeah,
And
that's a
the
great
caskets
point.
in the casket match were cheap as hell, and it probably looked like hell on TV. Being there live and
Yeah.
watching them try to maneuver the broken caskets and the fact that one was sideways on a ramp for no particular reason and all that, it sort of was like a mix of like, okay, these guys are gonna kill each other because somebody's gonna break their neck, but also kinda really funny because you can
Yeah.
really see stuff falling apart and them trying to have it not fall apart.
They're trying it's like, goth is not scary during the daytime, like when you see Manson at noon,
Yeah.
as the bonfire used to say, like, metal's not scary in the daylight. Same kind of idea. Like when you see things
Michael Myers
breaking,
is not scary out on the front lawn.
no, just standing there like, hey, you need to suspend disbelief a bit more. So when you're actually like in peril for the wrestlers because of
Mm,
a real reason, you're like, oh god, that's gonna, like you said, they're gonna break their necks because the coffins are so cheap and chintzy.
yeah.
I don't know why they went that route with it, especially when they have the funds to do certain things. They're setting off thousands of dollars of
I'll
pyro
say,
every pop, but
to be fair though, with hardcore matches, there's 2 ways you can go, and I don't think either one of them are necessarily bad, but you do have to pick a lane.
yeah,
A hardcore match can either be scary or fun. Fun is your generic WWE Money in the Bank match of
yeah,
modern era, right?
lots of
And there's nothing wrong with that.
spots
You
and
don't think anybody's gonna rip anybody else's head off. There's gonna be some cool spots. There's gonna be some acrobatic shit. Somebody's gonna have one big fall in the match where everybody goes, "Holy shit," for a second. You got the other side of the Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa in the
yeah,
lights out match where they were streaming blood throughout the whole friggin' thing.
oh yeah,
Even stuff that's not hardcore, like the last AEW show that I was at personally was Forbidden Door, and I told you the best match I saw that year, Omega and Osprey,
yeah,
which was just supposed to be a match and ended up being a bloodbath.
yeah.
Like
They
that's on
killed
me.
each
Holy
other.
shit, what are we doing? Like it's actually like, and I'm using scary in a loose definition,
But I understand
but
your point. The suspense,
that's
the
not
awe, the
yeah,
speculation, the worry, the
that's not
wonder.
the same as like Money in the Bank. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun stunt show.
Yes,
And what as soon as we switched gears and as soon as I looked at it that way, yeah, then yeah, the coffin match was fun for something I was there for. The tables and tacks thing, um, you know, MJF looked like he was bleeding out of his dick. Like, what are we
yeah. I mean, that was nuts.
I know
And
why they're
then
wearing white. I know because it's a visual thing,
yes,
but it was just one of those things. Edge and Christian opening the show was a choice. Um,
yeah, I mean, the crowd response was not as big as I thought. I mean, they gave Edge his opera singing entrance, but besides
yeah,
that, I don't know if they just kind of
I will
caught
say
everybody off guard or what, because I thought
the
the
thing
fans
that I
would be
will
even bigger for them. But also the match and then all the heat afterwards, like
yeah,
that was my problem. I was not
I'm
crazy
not
about
gonna
all the
lie.
heat. They did not
I'm
need to
not gonna
have Beth
you
and
are not
everybody
gonna
get
convince me
destroyed.
you're not gonna convince me otherwise that they didn't plan Beth's return that night because they knew they were going up against another show that was gonna have couples versus couples, and they might cross the line of having a dude do something to a chick. So they
Yeah.
tried to jump the line and do the spike on Beth.
Yep.
Not saying that's a bad thing. It's a competitive like, hey, we moved to earlier in the day, we get to have the first shot in. I'm not even necessarily against it, but you're not gonna convince me that that's not why they did it.
No, that was their intent the entire time. And
Yeah.
and you
Also
see
cool,
it
like,
back.
if you're gonna have Beth come back to help Edge, like, and it's not her hometown, it might as well be in his hometown. I'm not
Yeah.
against it, but it was kinda see through. Kinda cool to see Beth Phoenix though, or Beth Copeland, I guess, as she is
Yeah, whatever you want to
now.
call it now. But it was cool to see her in action. But here's the thing: again, like you said, it was one of those things you could see through a mile away, and that took away from it. And then you're in, like you said, his hometown. You're in Edge and
Yep.
Christianville. Why do they need to do the attack afterwards? You still have the feud ongoing with these people. Christian still needs his kind of revenge. You didn't need the handcuffing and the beatdown. And I mean, they really took the wind out of the crowd's sails after that. It was hard to get you guys back for a while after being like, oh
Yeah.
God, no one's
Oh,
coming to
this
save
is what I
them
was gonna say.
either.
This is what I was gonna say. There was a sound issue. I know there was a lighting issue because I've talked to other people that watched the show. The lighting was
I saw that on
fucked.
Reddit.
The lighting was really fucked, but like all night.
It
And
was
I don't know
blinding
whether you got
people throughout the arena, and then they just couldn't see certain
it just went
things.
section by section, and the loudest chants we had in the building were "Turn the light off."
Yeah.
And then people would cheer when they finally turned the light off, and then they kept the spotlights on for the main event for a little bit, and then they started cycling through, like, lighting setups for the main event. I'm like, What are we doing here?"
Yeah.
But the whole show, and again, this is where I would have to say, like, I'm not going to the show and then buying the pay-per-view, so I haven't watched it, but, like, everything sounded quiet. All the behind the scenes, like, backstage segments that came up on the Tron,
Yeah.
the sound was way low. Even
Things were
people's
hard to
entrance
hear. Yeah.
even people's entrance music was way low. The crowd, maybe it was just I have to say, maybe it was just in my section, but the whole crowd was like a low hum from and then they would pop for, like, the things that they know they're supposed to pop for, and then the stuff that I was popping for, nobody was popping. The people were popping for Eddie Kingston. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, there was quite a few times where you noticed like the
Eddie
wrestlers did
Eddie
something and then they
Kingston.
got no
Okay,
reaction. Tony Storm,
I
when she hit the Storm Zero the first time, the crowd popped, but I think it was when she got it the second time or a reversal, and she kind of like looked to the audience like with this shocked face, like, "Why aren't you doing like do monkey do? I
see,
did, you
and
do."
Chris Statlander winning was something that I enjoyed because I like Chris Statlander, and I think they should have put a title on her back when she was a little bit more, like, at her peak of popularity, right? I
Right.
would have cheered for that, but it kinda just happened, and we're like, oh, I guess they did that." But,
And now you
no,
got
like,
Mercedes coming for your blue title. I mean,
oh, fuck, or no, no. I swear to God, if I see Mercedes walk onto Dynamite with the Destiny world title,
yeah, Sadie does
like,
not deserve
no,
that.
no. This scene does not contain a lap dance. But, no, the funny thing was, though, is, like, when you're so far away I was in the 300s, I didn't dole out ridiculous money,
No.
for this show, but I was in the front row of the 300s, so I had, like, a railing in front of me so I could, like, set my drink, and I could, like, put my feet up occasionally and all that kind of thing, right? Even from the 300 section, Eddie Kingston's Phantom Punch for the win. What are we doing?
Yeah, that was
Now,
missed him by a mile. Yeah.
before anybody jumps down my throat, I know he's just come back from a lot of injuries. Very, very on a human to human level, glad he's cleared, all that kind of thing. Don't care. And Big
Yeah.
Bill, for as much respect as I have for Big Bill, who does have his own cool, recovery return story that needs to be respected. In the ring, he has to be in the ring with somebody that I give a shit about.
Absolutely. Well, that's why we had heard the telltale
The
rumors,
Enzo.
the Enzo rumor, and it made
Yeah.
sense by the booking and what was going on. And then I was like,
Yeah, but their
oh,
fan base would have eaten them alive.
I don't know. I don't know because he's gotten a bit of resurgence and he's gone ahead and managed to change some of
Yeah,
the
but
attitude against him for a
he's
while.
swept up in that, like, it doesn't matter how innocent
You
you are, then you're
are.
guilty.
He
Anyways, but
I
like I
don't
said,
know.
I'm
I
not
just I see public opinion kind of change on him recently, but
mm.
it
Anyways, like, I sound like I'm being down on the show. I'm not sorry that I went,
no, I'm sure it was a great
is the
experience
where
in
I can cap it off.
person.
And like I said,
Live wrestling
I
is
was
always going to be great too. I mean, it's live
yeah, and
wrestling.
I was in a cool section as well and all that kind of thing, and it was a long show, so while everything wasn't for me, it's not like, I can't say I didn't get my money's worth. I got, like, 14 matches. I was not
Yeah.
there for the kickoff. I just aimed to
Between
be
the
there.
kickoff and everything else, it was before the kickoff. It was 5 hours. You add that in, it was like 6.5. I mean, sometimes it's just too long, and it
This is
went
what I need to ask you, though.
into.
What was the deal what was the deal with AEW running 2 separate kickoffs at the same time?
I don't know. I didn't understand what they were trying to achieve. Like one
Because
was a
one
breakdown and
as I understand, one of them was like a pre-tape thing that was just video packages, and the other was the matches that were happening in the building.
yeah, I guess if some
Why would
people
you not
wanted
integrate the
to
2?
see the recap and didn't care about the I don't know. It was very
Because I was
confusing.
watching our friends doing their live watch along, like, I was watching them doing their watch along of the pre-show while I was on the train on the way to Toronto,
Yeah, see.
and the crowd was in the audience saying like, "Hey, how come you guys aren't talking about the matches? The matches are happening, da da da." Like, they're like, "What? What?" And watching them realize in real time that there was 2 different kickoffs
That
happening
they're
there,
on the wrong one. Oh Jesus, that's funny though.
and I'm sitting there cackling like an idiot on the train, and everybody around me is like, "What the fuck's this guy's deal?" And I'm
What are
like,
you laughing at?
wrestling fans are stupid. I don't know what you want me to
It
say
was
here."
your Joker moment on the bus. You know, you just had to whip out the
But
card. Don't mind my
but
laughing.
you wanna know what the funny thing is, though? I took transit to Toronto. I was there for the entire length of All Out, took
Yes,
transit home, came home, my nephews and my niece were here, did the family thing for a while, then threw on WrestlePalooza,
that's a
went to
day.
bed at about went to bed at about 3 AM.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about WrestlePalooza one way or the other. I don't
The problem there too was that you know, friggin' All Out went way long, so I was trying
mhm.
to still catch the John Cena Brock Lesnar match while seeing what's happening with and the proto star Fletcher will be a big star eventually. He's got it, you know, to be
I will
earmarked for
say,
the future.
and people are gonna say that I'm just talking shit, whatever, being in the front row of the 300 section, being able to look down on the section in front of me, there were a lot of people that had their Netflix phones out, like a
Yeah, checking that
lot,
out. Hmm.
like a lot, and I'm not like they came up because they're under the delusion that, Hangman is good in any way, but but I will say, WrestlePalooza, I don't have much to talk about. I don't think it was terrible, and I don't think it was the next WrestleMania. And
No, it's not their
I
next
think I think
yearly,
everybody I
you
think everybody
know.
on either side of the spectrum is overreacting. So that's my
See,
big
I
in-depth take
agree
on
with the C
WrestlePalooza.
take. I don't hate the C take on it because it was a middle of the road show. I mean, the
Yeah.
Punk and AJ stuff was just like the Ronda Rousey debut. Like it was perfectly choreographed. It was fun. It was enjoyable
Mhm.
to watch, but it wasn't going to be anything like revolutionary. It was still damn good, and she did great, and it was
I
a
did
ton of fun to
like
watch. But
call me a softie and whatever. I did like the thing that came out after the fact about their ring gear for that match. Becky and Seth were done up in colors for like suicide prevention.
yeah, they
Punk
had
and AJ were out there for like LGBT support and all that kind of thing. And the LGBT thing, like the rainbow for the LGBT community is a pretty recognizable thing. I didn't get the Becky and Seth one, but I finding
with
out about that
purple.
after the fact was
Yeah,
pretty cool. I'm almost glad I found out about that after the fact though, because I don't want to be like, "Oh, that's a
Uh,
really nice thing," while they're out
while
there
the
being shitty
heels are,
heels.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. While the heels are killing it. Yeah,
But,
exactly.
no,
But
I think
uh,
that match
eh,
over-delivered. I think, Stephanie and Io was insane,
that
and
was
the rest of
great.
it was what it was.
That's why I said it's hard to give it like a bad rating because that was such a damn good match. And then
Mhm.
Stephanie and Io
I think
was
both
really
pay-per-views
damn good.
were set up in really weird order. I think both shows
Yeah,
were too worried about what the other show was doing, and I think
absolutely.
that's a criticism of now one show was shuffling 14 matches, one show was shuffling 5,
And then
so
also
it
going
is
ahead and
different.
opening with Lesnar is a choice, and then having Lesnar go ahead and just beat Cena senseless is another choice. And doing with that choice as what they did, I
But you
mean,
know what it is
I
though?
don't
If they
know.
wanna I will say, if it's smart if they want to not necessarily dominate the rating for that 20 minutes or whatever, but dominate the conversation online because
Yeah,
people that are happy that Lesnar's back and people that are pissed off that Brock Lesnar's back are both going to be chatting their asses off. And then people that are pissed off that he won and people that are happy that he won are going to be chatting their asses off. So, conversational snowball, I get why they did it. I don't get
oh, absolutely.
putting Cody and Drew in the main.
I don't get that either, but
No
I
offense to either guy.
really hated
No
the
offense to
idea
either guy.
of Lesnar just doing another scene. Like we only have
Mhm.
what 5 dates left of John, and you're throwing one away for that.
He's gonna
That's
face
what you want
AJ,
to
it's
go.
fine.
He's going to,
I'm really
but
surprised they didn't do the
uh,
mixed tag in the main event. I'm
I thought they would
just
have
saying.
as well. I mean, that really probably should have closed the show. That or the Stephanie match would have been excellent. Like you said, placement her and the Lesnar thing really burnt my ass the wrong way because we've had so many
Is there a right way to
failures.
burn your ass?
No, but this would have been the least, the least degrees of burns, I guess. It's just, it sucks that John yet again is like, yeah, sure, I'll put over whoever on the way out because that's what I do. I'm the ultimate company guy. Instead of speaking for himself, I know he offered to
Whereas
put
people are
Lesnar
like,
over,
where
but
was this through the bulk of his career?
yeah, exactly. Now he's putting over everybody when it's really unnecessarily being done to such an extent. And I don't know. I mean, I get some of it, but the heel booking was such a great moment, and then everything that followed was such a disaster. And they know that they bungled that up because they had the instant change of heart. You know, we saw it play out right in
Yeah.
front of us at SummerSlam. Hey, I'm no longer a heel, guys. By the way, we're fixing that now. I'm sorry, I had a bad day. You know,
Had a bad day,
sorry, Cena
and
had
then
a
that kid from
bad
Belgium
day.
that went with him to like 5 shows.
Yes.
Anyways,
I
but
made
there's no
fun of the
rest for
little
the
chubby
wicked.
bastard. I gotta make my apology heard just as loud. And guess what they
Oh,
went for?
Jesus. But there's no rest for the wicked, and we got another set of back-to-back shows. At least they're on 2 different days this time around. We got Victory Road, which is going to very closely lead into Bound for Glory, their biggest party of the summer. It's not summer anymore. Don't worry, don't listen. I didn't say that. But we've also got NXT No Mercy. Both of them are going to have the cloud over them now. Now that we've broken the seal, we've done the TNA invasion. We did the big rumble in the Brumble at the end of
Yes,
NXT
which was great.
last
I
night.
love the way they had everyone slowly show up in the audience. Hey, this is what's going down. This is what's happening. This is what we're doing.
And I hate
And
the argument of like, "Oh my god, this is so stupid. Why would they just let them in the building like that?" Like, these are 2 brands that have been,
they've
like,
been working together.
very comfortably coexisting for a long time.
Yeah,
Joe
this has
Hendry
been
Joe
happening.
Hendry,
So,
who's not technically on the NXT roster yet, was in a match earlier that night.
yeah,
Like, what are we
exactly.
doing
But
here?
people forget about that pretty quick, seemingly.
But people are already, like, into their full, "Oh, they stole Joe Hendry from, TNA like they stole Jordan Grace," even though more people have been stolen by AEW and are being wasted by AEW. It's fine.
Well, what I like too is that you see people slowly but surely coming out, and everybody has like a former WWE, star and former, people that have been let go and hired by TNA. So people that have like an obvious gripe with the company, and people that maybe not
Yeah.
even gripe is the right word, but like a clear, there's some type of disdain there. Like they've got something going. I appreciate
They can
the
play it off
storytelling.
as the story is, like, they're sick of NXT holding their title. Now, there's a small
Yes,
handful of people on there that can play it up
their shit's
as,
been taken for a while now, and they need the
yeah.
comeuppance. That's a great
I
way of
kind
putting it.
of I kind of wish, like, I was happy for Ash by Elegance, when she got her title win, what was it, like, a month ago or whatever, when she won the TNA
Yes,
Knockouts title. Happy for her, deserves it, don't get me wrong. I do kinda wish that NXT had held both titles so that, like, the full, like,
full weight could
okay,
have been
we
felt.
the
Yeah,
full yeah, the full weight could have been like, "Okay, we got our shit back." All could have happened in one night at Bound for Glory because that would have
yes,
been the glory at Bound for,
it
but I
it
do
would have
think
been. I understand the
I
point though, and now they're kind of stuck too with everything that's happening with Masha and Victory Road. So
yeah. But I do think there are people that can tap into, like, "Hey, I used to work here and I'm bitter." But also there's people like Mance Warner was there
yeah,
last night. Kazarian was there
oh
last
yeah.
night.
Like you said, they
Eric
have my
Young,
title.
who,
They've been disrespecting our company.
yeah,
That kind of thing works
people are using
perfect.
but
I'm just
people are
saying
using,
there's
like,
a
Eric Young as
subtext
the
to
ex
it of
yeah,
also having people that used to work there. That not being like the main idea,
yeah.
but that's like
I'm just saying it can be multifaceted. You could have
yeah,
one group of people with multiple motivations. People that are like, when they say, "Oh, just ex-WWE people," and they mention EY, and I'm like, "EY was TNA first.
yeah.
Like,
He was
what are
not
we doing here?" Like, his 2
exactly.
runs in NXT were not the highest received things in the world by some people. Um, but I mean, like, he goes back to TNA and he's a fucking god. So,
Yeah.
like, what
And
are
what
we
is he
doing?
doing now? Exactly. So
So every
let's
match we talk about on this card and on No Mercy, is sort of plagued by this. Oh, any one of these matches could be fucked with.
Yeah.
Um, so as you said, and we'll touch on it briefly. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about the Masha thing probably tomorrow night in a bit more detail. She's been accused of some stuff, and if it's true, it's terrible, and I'll talk about it more tomorrow. But
Yeah. But
her
the ripple
match
of
had
this is like,
oh yeah.
a huge effect on everything going forward because she was involved in Victory Road and then whatever happened facing Indy going forward.
Well, this was the thing. Initially, the match for Victory Road was going to be Ash by Elegance taking on Masha Slamovich with Indy Hartwell as the referee because whoever was the champion would go to Victory Road and defend it against Indy. So they've taken that off the page. Bound for Glory is just listed as Ash by Elegance by Indy Hartwell, which will be a fun match. Really, really cool to see Indy Hartwell finding her
Yeah.
feet, but
Happy, but it's still
that's
just,
another story for another day.
yeah, it
I
takes away from it because you knowingly had it taken away. So,
This is where I have to say what we usually have to say when we come to a TNA show, because sometimes I'm able to keep track of, their week-to-week stuff, and sometimes I'm not. I haven't watched any Impact since the last TNA show, so I'm kinda going in blind. I kinda have some ideas of what's going on with some things. Mike Santana versus Ridge Holland. What?
yeah, that's going to be a hell of a bout to just throw out there. And I was
I
surprised to
think
see
it's just
that
like Ridge
happening.
Holland is being a hired gun for Trick. But, like, god damn, tell me this is a pay-per-view to build to another pay-per-view. Mike
Yeah.
Santana's winning. Ridge Holland is Ridge Holland.
Exactly. And what a random, like you said, pairing and grouping and all of it. It's just like,
Hmm?
it was
Well,
like,
in every group that Ridge has been in, he's been sort of like the muscle guy, right? So,
yes,
Trick Williams going down and because Ridge Holland is what, wrestling in Evolve now?
yes.
So for him to go down to
So,
Evolve and just grab the biggest guy he sees and be like, "Hey, you wanna take care of this guy for me?" Like, it's not without its logic, if that makes sense.
yeah, I mean, it's not the worst idea, but it also is not the best either. And you know it as
No,
well
of
as I
course,
do.
yeah.
Like, it's just, it falls a bit flat. I know you
It does,
want
but it
I know
is
you
just
want
a it
Santana to go over beforehand and have him be put over as much as possible, but Ridge Holland is not the choice I would have gone with, anyways.
no, he's in that old Big Show role. Like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you wanna get to Jericho, you gotta go through Big Show first for
Because we already broke
reasons."
our edge. Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah,
But
no
yeah,
doubt.
Santana's winning. It'll be cool because it's a big mountain for him to climb, and that's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. What's not a cliche, but I don't think the result is gonna be in any doubt, Leon Slater taking
Yeah.
on Myron Reed for the TNA championship, and I had it up here a second ago.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
X
know who he
Division
beat.
title.
Yeah. No, he was in a number 1 contenders match, and I think he beat Jake
Jake
something
something,
and
I
the other
think.
yeah, Jake something and the other 2 members of the Rascals. So I
Yes.
don't know how
So
that match came together, but apparently that was a thing. Myron Reed kind of being like the new substitute 3rd guy.
he's the villain, apparently.
He's Killer Kelly's partner, is he not?
Yes. But they're making him, I mean, they're giving him something. They're letting him
Yeah.
get some time
Oh,
out
no,
there.
he's tied to the Rascals, and he was tied to the Rascals before as well.
Yeah.
But I think he was brought back maybe even potentially a bit early when we had all the news surrounding, Trey Miguel's injuries, when they needed a substitute for the last big pay-per-view.
Yeah. When they were having
He ain't
issues back
bad,
then.
but he does come into the Rascals with, like, that substitute teacher
Yeah,
vibe a
and that's
little
that's
bit.
kind of what I'm going with. Like, hey, it's we got the Rascals at home again, and
Well, Zach Wentz is busy at the Performance Center, and, Legend says he's still there.
yeah,
But moving swiftly on,
it's still
I think
still
I think
there,
Leon's winning. I think
still
Leon's
hanging
winning. I think they'll
strong.
they'll come up with something huge for him. I still think that rumor that they might do an exhibition with Leon Slater and, AJ Styles might be a thing.
That would be great. I mean, AJ's on
That
his
w
way out too, so having him put over some
yeah,
people is not the worst thing in the world, as long as they do something with it and build
but
it
he
up
came
and make
he
it
came out
fun.
to, Slammiversary after the X Division match, after Leon Slater beat Moose, and he just put him over as, like, the next big high flyer or whatever you
Yeah,
wanna say.
so now he can really do
Um,
something with it.
I don't
Don't
think
just
I
put
don't
him
think it's
over,
something that they
make him a champion.
exactly. I don't think it's something that they have to do, but I think it's something if they could get it onto the table, I think it would be nice. Um,
No, it's certainly
r
not. But like something they have to do is what we got. That's John Cena and AJ Styles. And a
Yes,
lot of people were giving me guff over the weekend for my take on the Lesnar
not
part
guff.
because, yeah, they were. Because I said the Lesnar thing is a bad idea because there's no follow up to it. And people are like, "Oh, it's going to be Survivor Series, War Games," and I'm like, "You're fantasy booking. You're. It would be cool. It makes sense with Lesnar, sure, and Heyman, sure, somehow, whatever. I get it. You know, he could be involved with the vision, but still, you're fantasy booking because there's been nothing that tells us that's happening, and every single report is that they're not having. It was a one-off. That's the match. That's all you're getting, and that's all there is to it. So hey, like if it was a planned like series and then we got the squash in the beginning, but the plan really is like, oh, John has to come back and believe in himself again or some shit after
I
losing to
think
Cody.
if they're beefing up Brock Lesnar for next year, and if Brock Lesnar goes into the Saudi Royal Rumble and wins, I think the internet will eat itself.
Yeah, I mean, no
And
one wants
judging
that.
on my X feed today, I think maybe the internet does deserve to eat itself, but that's another story for another day. And this is a wrestling podcast. Okay, so bouncing back and forth, looking at Bound for Glory, there is a 10-person intergender hardcore war between the System and Order 4.
Yes.
The System is magically babyface. They still really haven't explained it other than like they're all willing to defend TNA against NXT,
Yeah, and we
which
got
is
them to
it's gonna
show
get
up
messy.
on NXT at that one point, and they were kind of supposed to be
Moose.
cheered, and Moose was like the good guy, and then that was kind
Yeah,
of it. So it's been a little ass backwards, I guess you could say.
probably. But what I'm saying,
But it works.
on
I
Victory
mean,
on
you
Victory
need
Road, we are
stables,
getting
so
on Victory Road, we are getting a preview for this. I guess you can call it like the captain's match or whatever, because we're
yeah.
getting Moose versus Mustafa Ali.
See, this is what I'm excited for. I'm more happy about this happening than I am the actual 10
The 10
person beat
person.
'em all. Yeah. I'm looking more forward to Mustafa Ali and Moose because Mustafa's great. Moose is a very good big man and he's good at that role. And Mustafa's very good
Every
at the
now and then, Moose
underdog.
will pull out some high flying shit though, and
Well,
it's
that's exactly
insane.
it. So he's also very agile and can pull off some incredible maneuvers. So when you have him with someone that's
What a
so
maneuver!
yeah, so fluid in the way that he executes stuff that is Mustafa Ali. I'm dying to see where it goes from here. Like those two, they could
Oh
do some
yeah,
high flying, they could do hard hitting, they could do. There's a lot of good that comes with that. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
I not that this is going to take anything away from the match, but I think it's pretty cut and paste. Bound for Glory is where you're going to want to have all your happy endings. Pause. So the system. I'm an asshole. It's fine. The system's going to win at Bound for Glory. So I think you flip the script
Yeah.
here. Mustafa Ali gets one last dig in on them
I
on
love when
behalf of his
wrestling
team
defies the
before.
norms. We don't have those
Yeah.
stereotypical, moments, but it seems
If you
like
go
it's
over on the go home show, you're going under on the pay per view.
yeah, those
But
type of
sometimes it makes
wrestling.
sense.
Exactly. And that's the thing. That's
But like
why they became tropes
because
because they did
Mustafa
make sense over
Ali has
time.
because Mustafa Ali has that sort of like political gimmick,
Yes.
and I mean, very, very, very telling for the times, may I
Ah.
say. But
And some
I
people
can
tried
see
to
them
throw that
play.
at him too, being like, "Oh, you're doing political stuff now." He was doing this back in 2019. They were, then he got let go, and COVID happened, and then the whole silly
Remember when
retribution.
everybody in the WWE, I almost said WWE universe. Fuck me. Do you remember when all the WWE fan base, like they all thought he was the greatest thing ever until they found out he used to be a cop, and
Yep.
then all of a sudden he was an asshole.
Yeah, and
Like,
then it was a
what are we
problem.
doing? I mean, like that's commentary on the real world. We're not doing that here. I'll get real
No.
sad if we do. But I think with the political gimmick that he does, if he cheats to win against Moose and they play it off as this was Mustafa's last stand or something
Yeah.
like that, like it's cheesy enough to work within what his gimmick is.
Yeah, and what
And then
he's
it'll just
doing.
rev up Moose, and it's like, okay, in a month he's gonna eat you.
You just nailed it. That's what you get the payoff here for. You rev up Moose,
Yeah.
you make the system feel more favored in the eyes of the fans of like, hey, they need retribution, so we should be cheering for them. He got screwed there at Victory Road, and we saw it with our own two eyeballs.
Yes.
Our eyeballs.
I still go back to the first time I saw Moose, and yes, it was at Destiny. Check it off your Spaz Phoenix bucket. It
Yeah.
was fine. And yes, he was driving hardcore Channing Decker through a stack of doors. Bring back the doors
Bring
and
back
not the
that
musical group.
Moose. Come on.
All right.
Let him off the leash.
I don't
Let's
know
see him
what we're gonna
execute
do with
everybody.
this. I don't know what we're gonna do with this considering Ash by Elegance has, Bound for Glory coming up, but, M by Elegance and Heather by Elegance defending the women's tag titles against the Inspiration, Casey Lee, Jessie McKay, formerly known as the Iconics. It'll be a lot of fun. I don't think the titles are going anywhere. I don't think we're getting too many surprises on this show. Let me just be
No, yeah, I think
very,
this
very
this
clear
this
about that.
one it's a Friday show. It's becoming, it's coming before we have obviously the NXT show the next day.
Yeah, I think
That's
it'll
getting
feed. Yeah,
most of
we'll
the
have a
press.
conversation about how it like they'll feed in. Like
Yeah,
there
this
will
will
be a
tie
shot
into
taken
it.
here. Oh
Absolutely,
yeah,
but
there'll be a shot taken here that gets answered the next night at No Mercy. I just don't, off the top of my head, I honestly can't tell you what it
what?
is
Yeah,
because like for it to be a shot, they would have to interrupt something important. And
exactly.
I don't want to sound like an asshole, but there's nothing of vital importance on this
The only thing
show.
they could do is come out and beat the shit out of Mike Santana and then have the audio, the rest,
Maybe.
because he was like the instigator for them. He was one of the
But I
ones
but I don't
to.
I don't think they I don't think they need to do that though because Trick is still the heel, and this is where it's
Yeah.
gonna get interesting. Trick being the NXT guy with the TNA belt, who's a heel in TNA because he stole the belt, but he's also a heel in NXT. But are all of NXT gonna band together? But Trick also has backup in TNA with AJ Francis, Rich Swann, and Casey Navarro
Oh
whenever he
yeah.
comes back from injury. So is he
Exactly.
gonna lean
So
on his fellow NXT people, or is he gonna
Patriots.
lean on the friends that he has made in TNA, or are they gonna turn on him because it's t-shirt time? It's fine.
Exactly. We don't know.
Um,
Are they just in it because it's time for war, or is it actually time for
yeah.
war?
But if
We
somebody's
don't
gonna
know.
jump Mike Santana as well, if like I just said, Trick has Trick has AJ Francis, Casey Navarro if he's healthy, Rich Swann. He's just recently reconnected with Carmelo Hayes, and he's enlisted the help of Rich Holland for this match that Santana's having on that night. Bring him much more help than that. I know he's a heel, but you're
Yeah.
gonna make him look like a bitch.
Exactly. So you really got to be
It's
careful
hard
here,
because
and
you gotta play with what dynamic you're playing with. And I think the same thing goes, the only title that I might see changing, only in the sense that they haven't really given Kazarian anything in a while, and he's been really good. I think Frankie Kazarian might steal Steve Maclin's international championship, and I think that
ooh,
might be the main event.
that could be. I mean, they haven't really done much with the international championship. It's pretty much just been Macklin and Kazarian feuding. It feels like forever
Yeah.
now.
Well, they
So
established the title, and Steve Maclin is a like, it's a new title. We don't really know how seriously the fans are taking it.
gonna take
Steve
it.
Maclin
Yeah.
is solid. He sort of like morphed babyface through his rivalry with Eric Young. So people were just embracing him as a babyface again as they just created this title, and his character, we've talked about this before in other scenarios, but like his character and the worth of the title were kind of building each other at the same time. So
Yeah.
it
One
wasn't
carried the
fantastic,
other,
it wasn't fireworks, it was just solid.
and
Frankie
it
Kazarian,
it has
since
been
going back to
solid.
TNA since going back to TNA, has been the most consistent, whatever story I'm in, I'm gonna be the thorn in everybody's side, I'm gonna be the slimy guy on commentator. He is a perfect mix of Logan Paul, The Miz, and Don Callis.
Yes, he's got that ultimate "I am an asshole, I know it, but I can kind of always back it up" thing going on too, which is always fun.
I am aware that I told you.
I
Anyways,
really don't care. I just saw them too. So damn good.
but yeah, but like he's been solid in a very different Kazarian, who is a fantastic wrestler and in his heyday in the X Division was a fantastic part of the X Division, has sort of morphed into this. He's a dickhead. This is why I bring in the Miz comparison. He's a dickhead. He's not at the top of any cards, but he really is holding the card together in the middle.
Yeah, he's making it
Um,
work. So
if they want to work in a story where he fucks over Steve Macklin and they want to reward him with a reign with this new title that they're still trying to establish, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And not that it's the biggest story going, but I think this might be the main event, which doesn't say much for the card.
no, it doesn't. So
I go in with limited expectation.
yeah, I mean it's gonna be a fun show regardless.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
TNA is usually good about making
And there's always
things
something that wasn't
entertaining.
advertised. And
Yeah.
I don't think they should depend on that, but you know you're gonna get something that you didn't know about, and that's a weird thing to lean on, but I'm gonna lean on it anyways because I'm sure they are gonna put something else on the card. I'm sure tomorrow night when they actually do the go home show, there might be something else more established. They might be doing stuff with like Zaya Brookside and Lei Ying Lee and the other people in that mix. I don't really know. I don't know what presence Joe Hendry has on TNA or if he has any. So he might have something.
I mean,
Eric Young,
I
they
imagine
can
he's going to
always throw in
appear
something.
somewhere, right? Because
Yeah. I don't know if we've ever
it's,
actually seen Joe Hendry versus Eric Young. Throw that on there just
I
as a
don't think we
random
have.
extra. Random extra last minute match. And because it's so last minute and nobody even knew it was happening, that can be the match that they interfere with. And then you have Joe Hendry, I'm the TNA guy, but I've been treated really well over here in NXT as well. And I just want everybody to stop fighting.
Yeah, just get
Do the
along. Why can't we all
just do
just work together and get along?
and then he pops out of a fridge and Ren Sinclair gives him a big hug and everything's
Yes.
fine.
When are they
I'd
going to be
I'd
a
be
couple,
fine.
huh?
I'd be fine if Ren Sinclair gave me a hug. Oh,
Right.
speaking of Ren Sinclair, holding together the Ren QCC all by herself because Charlie Dempsey's over in Noah.
Yeah, happy Wednesday.
So that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah, he's over there
indeed.
with what's his name? I just saw it the other day.
I can't. Yeah, I was gonna say I sent you the video clip of
Mm-hmm.
basically it was him and somebody else from like developmental. It's like first of all, they're
Gentleman
gonna have a
whose
match
name I
against
forget regularly, but is usually pretty
Indeed.
stellar. Yes.
So they're gonna have a match against each other at Noah, and then they're
Mm.
going to have a tag team match against some other people in Noah, and then they're just going to be there at Noah representing NXT so that it can be NXT versus Noah.
Yeah.
Last minute prediction, maybe some of the people from Noah don't too kindly to that and they sidle up with TNA
You
and
never know.
it can be the TNA Noah alliance.
We've seen stranger things happen before. So as
Hey,
much as we
Stranger Things
joke,
season 5 is coming soon. Fine.
look at that. See,
Um,
even more
but
to look
yeah,
forward to.
so we've already been over it, but we're pushing forward towards Bound for Glory. The 10-person intergender hardcore war is there between Order 4 and the system. Ash by Elegance versus Indy Hartwell for the Knockouts title. Obviously, we're getting the one final match between the Hardys and the Dudleys, and apparently it's going to be a tables match.
Yes. How could
Somebody's
it
going to
not be?
die. Trick Williams versus Mike Santana because the title didn't change hands on NXT this week. I like the fact that if you go to Trick Williams on Wikipedia, his profile picture on Wikipedia is him in his football gear.
Yeah. That's
But
funny.
switching gears now, as it pertains to NXT No Mercy.
The next night,
I'm
yes.
an asshole. It's fine. Um, JC Jane versus Lola Vice.
Yeah. So Jasmine Nix is no more. That was
Yeah.
a little sudden. I mean, we kind of heard some rumblings. We weren't exactly sure, but she apparently rubbed some
Um,
people the wrong
I
way, I guess, too. I've
I
heard a
don't
few
think.
different things reported.
Yeah.
So
The stuff that she's being accused of and being canceled over and whatever, um,
she said it wasn't gonna
apparently
the contract they offered her wasn't gonna cut it for her financially. So how long until she starts in a certain adult site that
that's fine.
you need a subscription to? No, I'm not saying it's not fine, but it seems like
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
that
no,
gets
no.
let go, it seems like that's
But
where they're immediately
but
going
it
to.
it's
Well,
I'm
the
not
issue
cutting you off,
is,
but it seems to be the go-to of like, oh, she got canceled from WWE, so now she's gonna get her tits out. First of all, nothing wrong with that if you do. Friggin' Elena Black and whoever else is doing it, go grab the bag.
yeah,
Second of all, like, it's
mm,
not like other
there's
companies wouldn't pick her up.
nothing wrong with it, but here's the issue: they're basing future contract payments off of what they can make on OnlyFans. That's what's coming down to. Because she's like, oh, I can make a ton of money elsewhere, but not this where.
But you know what it is though, right? Like, and it's different because it's NXT and it's developmental and everybody should be learning and everybody should not be humble, but like be realistic in things, right? And I would say that as much as anybody else would. At the same time, if somebody on the main roster had their like if Sami Zayn had his contract coming up and every time Sami Zayn's contract comes up, it's like, oh, he's gonna go to AEW this time, right? Um,
Yeah.
if they made Sami Zayn a contract offer or a contract extension offer, and he says, "No, I don't think that number is acceptable," everybody would be behind him, be like,
Yes.
stand on your own 2 feet, know what you're worth, all that kind of thing." and that's fine. I don't have a problem with her doing that in NXT.
Oh, I
Like,
don't have a problem with it, but here's the thing: I don't want people to be like, "Oh, I could go and be a millionaire here," because they're not going to pay you $1 million in NXT. So setting like unrealistic
no, that's
expectations
fine.
and values coincided with payment is a slippery slope, because we've seen
Very
yeah,
slippery.
it's very slippery, and we've seen that lubricant go up and downhill. So it can work both ways, but I just don't want people to be like basically pricing themselves out because they're like, oh,
No,
I can make more money here, so now I'm done, and basically
but
bartering
see,
with WWE
here's my thing,
over
right?
OnlyFans.
I know that you're not putting anybody down. Let me be clear about
No,
that, right?
certainly not.
But if somebody looks at a deal that they've been offered and they decide, like, for themselves, that deal is not acceptable, why they find that deal unacceptable is irrelevant to me. Like, if you go into the office and say, "I think I'm worth it," friggin', oh, I hate that I'm using her as an example, but Sasha Banks.
Yeah,
Sasha Banks walked back to WWE and said, "Okay, if you want me back, it's gonna be this." WWE said no. And she said, "Okay, your offer is unacceptable," and she left.
yeah, she was
WWE
out.
said no. She said no, WWE said no, they parted ways, whatever the thing is.
Everybody said no.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I
No.
think I'm never going to put in, and I know you're not either, like, I have to reiterate that once again, but I'm never gonna put anybody down for saying, "No, I think I'm worth this. If you want me, you're gonna give me this."
No, I'm just
And
afraid that OnlyFans is going to be let's see, like a false fluctuation to the market to base your value on. Like, you don't want your only alternative being, obviously getting naked on the internet, and whether you want to or not, that's not my issue. The issue is like it's unrealistic expectations because you're like, oh, well, WWE should be paying me this much because I can make this much here, but it's not a direct competitor. It's not somebody's WWE's
it's
dealing with.
not.
It's not an AEW thing where like, oh, they're going to pay me this. It's like, oh, well, I could make money doing this here, so that becomes
Mhm.
the issue.
But that's the reality that we live in, though.
Oh yeah,
Like,
currently,
the
but
world that we live in today has that as an option. So,
no,
like,
certainly. I
put
just worry that they're
putting
going to price
putting that
themselves
back,
out of opportunities.
yeah, but putting that, okay, well, but again, that's their own decisions as
Yeah,
well,
no
right?
doubt, but
I think you live in a world where certain people are going to have the ability to make that much money elsewhere. So you live in a world now where if you want to hold on to that person, this is what it's going to cost.
yeah,
And
basically,
I'm being a dick to WWE when I say that, kind of. But like, oh, I wish this wasn't a thing, or I wish, if this wasn't a thing, then that person would have stayed. Well, it is a thing.
yeah, that's
Operate
not
in the
even it.
world.
It's the fact that I feel like there's a bubble to it, and it's gonna pop soon, and then you're gonna
Mhm.
have everybody sitting there being like, "Where's my money?" And it's just not gonna
Yeah.
be. We saw it with other porn
Well,
things. We've
okay, but
seen it with
that's
other
the other side of the coin, though, is
avenues.
if they decide to make that decision and go that way,
Yeah.
and the bubble bursts, then they get to sit there with the result of their own decision.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
happy I'm happy for somebody to make their own decision. I'm also happy for somebody to s and it's not just OnlyFans, it's anything else.
Yeah,
Like,
I just don't want anybody
somebody
being
could,
ill-advised thinking I can go make millions of dollars on OnlyFans, and it
oh,
turns
yeah.
around. And by the way,
Okay, but who's the chick that used to be with JBL who, like, her whole gimmick was that she was a bad singer?
yeah.
Then Boogeyman ate the thing off her face.
Mm-hmm. Jillian Hall, or
Jillian Hall.
yeah,
So, okay, say her gimmick wasn't that she was a bad singer. Say she thought she was an amazing singer, and, some, like, local venues in her hometown were willing to pay her some, like, stupid amount of money to come give them, like, 5 concerts, right?
oh
And she
sure,
says, "Oh, they're gonna pay me a bazillion dollars to go do these concerts. I'm gonna go be a professional singer. WWE, can you beat this?" And
yeah.
they say no, and they part ways, and those 5 concerts happen, and she makes those bazillion dollars, and then that's it, and then she's got nothing. She has every right to make that decision, and same thing goes for a dude. Like, we're talking mostly about the ladies' side of thing, which probably
Yeah.
isn't fair, but,
I think I look
like,
at it more as like a girl dad mindset where I don't want
fair,
women
yeah,
to
yeah.
view that as the other option because they're making millions of dollars. Plus, having to go and set up for a concert and have a hall rented and put on music and all that stuff,
Mhm.
all those things I took a large barrier to entry, as where this just takes a phone and your
Yep.
body. So there's
Oh, no,
also
I get
that
it.
too. So girl dad in me is like, I don't want the talent to be like, well, I can go make $1 million this way.
and
and
then you
that's
fall on your
it.
face.
Exactly. So hopefully that's not the only rationale they're looking at, basically behind the
And I mean, like,
scenes.
let's be real as well. Like, you go down the OnlyFans route, not that it's a good thing, but you're gonna run into some unsavory people along the way too. But
Yeah,
hopefully you have your eyes open. Make all the choices. I'm all for people making all the choices they want and reaping the benefits or consequences of those decisions in equal measure. Anyways,
absolutely.
that was a big detail. I hope she's good. I think she
I
was
hey,
really
I
finding her stride in NXT. So,
Yeah, some
like,
people think it's because of her boyfriend making fun of a special needs individual at, I think it was Disney World or Disneyland, and she was laughing at that point. But that happened quite a while ago, and she's wrestled since then. Remember, people were saying like, "Oh, look, she's been
well,
taken off TV," and
what's happening more now is that they can't celebrate her being fired because she decided to not stay. So they're
yes,
just going back to like, "Oh, well, good riddance. Look what a terrible person she was."
I
Okay,
guess
but
the
you probably
mindset
you
more of that
probably
was they
supported
let
Jimmy
her
Kimmel
go.
last week.
Yeah, they
I'm
let
just
her
saying.
go, and because they just not renewing the contract is basically the same thing as letting you go in this day and age is pretty much the mindset of it.
Well, no, but I do think she walks out in the power position if her contract was up and they were the ones coming to her with a new offer and she was the one that said no. She's still, and it's not about winning, but she's still the one that walks out of that conversation in the power position,
Yeah.
which is
Oh,
good.
no
Good for her,
doubt.
and it should be. It should be that way, by the way. But
Absolutely.
yeah, no, now it's just become a, oh well, I never really liked her anyway. Look how terrible she was in this video where she does nothing and laughs with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend might be a dick, but, like,
But
I'm not gonna come down on somebody for laughing at one of their boyfriend's jokes because I might think that they're a dick. It's
exactly.
we're getting into a weird world where,
Weird
like,
nitty gritty there.
people do some really, really fucked up shit and get
Granted,
defended and
her
people
exit was less than gracious, though. She was attacked, and then they're like, ah, we didn't need you anyways. Later. Kind
I
of a
don't
shitty
mind
way
that
to
though
leave.
because, like, the character-wise, she was in a group of 3 friggin', like,
Yeah,
pretty
Mean
toxic
Girls.
chicks that
Yeah.
all that all kind of hated each other, so it's not like that came out of nowhere. That was almost
No,
like the
it fits
fitting
the
way for her to go
story.
out.
It's just
And
funny when you
she
you look at the
wasn't
person
portrayed
behind it
she
favorably
wasn't even
now.
portrayed like, the reason why I think that works as well, if she does come back in the future, she wasn't portrayed as a bad person on the way out. She gets portrayed as the person that was abandoned in her time of need. So
True.
if she does decide to resign in a year and, like, runs the ring one day and attacks JC Jane, she's now the person that was wronged. She's now the person that's had, like, a backstage festival of friendship and gets to go back and
Yeah, she's
not
been
necessarily be the
destroyed
good
and torn
person, but be
apart.
the you're not necessarily the good person automatically, but you're the good guy in the sense of you're attacking the bad guy.
Yes.
Anyways, now that we're done talking about the person that's not on
On
the
the card.
roster anymore, let's talk about the actual match. I'm
Yes.
sorry, I'm not quite going in order either because I want to talk about what I think the main event's going to be.
Yes.
But
I have a
JC
feeling.
Jane, JC Jane, Lola Vice, it's going to be a hell of a match. JC Jane, even though she's killing it right now, is still super underrated, which I don't understand. And Lola Vice is on the up. Either she's
Yes.
getting the belt or she's skipping it and going to the main roster.
I kind of I want Lola Vice to not win here, not because I don't like her, but I've enjoyed JC Jane more, and I feel like they've done a
Okay.
better job building up JC over the past few months by treating her essentially as this a beatable champion, and she's defied every expectation and managed to hold strong. So to me, there's more going on there that I can bite into, but
I think they've done a really cool thing with JC Jane as far as heel work because she has been a heel. She's been acting as a heel. She's been doing heel things, but they've always presented her as a person with a chip on her shoulder that's justified.
yes, got
Because
something to prove.
when all the new names were coming in, like she says, "Oh, nobody thought I was gonna be champion." Nobody did think she was gonna be champion
No,
because it was
never.
in that wave of like Julia, Stephanie Vacour, Jordan Grace, Zarya, Sol Ruka was on the rise.
Yeah, all of
She
it.
was like the third person in another faction before she got her own. So it's coming from a very real place. And even when she won, what were all the fans saying? Oh, she's going to be a transition. Like, I'm sure it's going to be Jordan Grace. I'm sure it's going to be Blake Monroe. I'm sure it's going to be
Yeah,
so and so. And it's
we
just
thought it
like,
would be everybody but her for a long
And
time, and
friggin' she came out on and I'm glad she did. She came back, out on NXT this week and said, "You didn't think I was gonna be champion, let alone me being champion now here for 100 days. Like,
exactly.
fucking you think I'm a transitional champion? Transition this. Fuck you," type thing. Like, good.
And she
Really,
did a
really
great
good.
job with
And
it.
the thing is, Fallon Henley being sort of at her side and always portrayed as the person that's like, um sort of like the heel version of Charlotte and Alexa, like allies of convenience of yeah, they'll work together if they're on the same team. They'll fuck other people up together, but given the first opportunity, Fallon will take her head off.
Yeah.
She's low key doing great character stuff in that role specifically.
Oh yeah.
Like the day
They've
that Fallon Henley is gonna like take her out and knock her block off is gonna be simultaneously a surprise and the most obvious thing ever.
yes.
Lola Vice on the other side of the coin, I'm gonna sound like a repetitive dickhead here. She's the one with the dual contract. She's the one
Yes.
that's
She kind of
splitting her
feels like
time
the
between
industry plant in a way, just with, because she's everywhere at this point in time.
yeah,
They're using her correctly, but I don't think it's her time yet with the title. You know how Cody was adamant that Stephanie, it was too soon for her at WrestlePalooza. I feel the opposite. I feel like it's too soon for Lola Vice here. I think she still has a bit more, not to prove, but at least to show. And I think
I
there's a
think
bit more out of it.
unless they like for this weekend in particular, I feel like there's a make or break 50-50. JC Jane retains or Lola Vice wins, and that's what splits up JC and Fallon.
Yeah.
So she's got a 50-50 chance here. But I have a feeling, barring if she wins this weekend, I have a feeling she picks up the Reina de Reinas championship before she picks up the NXT championship.
I kind of agree as well.
But they
And
have really put the machine behind her for somebody
yes,
that's not a champion.
and usually when you get somebody like this, I'm usually always down 100% with NXT's baby faces. Like no matter how they present them, usually I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And this is the first time that I'm not really like 100% behind the baby face. It's kind of an interesting conundrum per se, because usually whoever they have there, I'm like, yep, this person's got it, they're it, this is what's happening. And instead it's like I'm not entirely sold on Lily yet. So and
And
it's
see,
not like I don't
isn't that funny?
dislike
Because
her,
I'm
but
the it's funny that you say that, and, like, I love that we're on opposite sides of the coin here.
yeah.
I feel the same way about her. My reason for not putting the belt on her is they've sold me on her so much, I don't think she needs the belt.
See, the other way around.
Because I,
'Cause
like
she's been a
clearly,
mainstay
they're
for
saying
such a
she's an
while,
it
just
girl.
not with any
Yeah.
titles. So that's why I was like, let's see.
I think you call her up and you plant her squarely in one of the mid cards on either Raw or SmackDown. You have her go up against a Julia
Yeah,
on SmackDown. You
that's a
have
good
her go up
idea.
against a Becky. Because if you put her up against Becky, that puts her in Seth Rollins' orbit, and that makes her immediately a mid card title contender and a main card championship concern.
Yeah.
It serves a lot of the whole Becky and Seth thing serves a lot of weird between the divisions purposes. But I don't think would I like to see her be the NXT champion at some point?
Oh,
Yes.
sure.
Do I think she's going to pick up the Reina de Reinas championship possibly first because of the way her contract is? Probably.
Yeah.
Um, does that mean that they're gonna treat that like another mid-card division in NXT? Maybe. They could get messy, don't do that. But I
We'll
at the
see.
same as much as I wanna see her be champion, they've sold her to me so much that I don't need her to be champion, and they could just chuck her up on the main roster tomorrow. She's
Yeah.
very much in a Roxanne Perez-ish position
No,
as
that makes
far as how
sense.
good I think she is, and we're
Okay.
just waiting for her call up at this point. But
Yeah.
Jacy Jane is the kind of the opposite. Like I think Jacy Jane does have a lot more to do, even though she's already great. Her being in NXT longer, staying the champion longer,
Longer. Yeah.
building the championship aura more, even falling out with Fallon Henley, fighting over the title and still holding the title even without friends anymore. Maybe, maybe they play around with a babyface turn somewhere
Maybe.
along the way. I don't know where it comes from at this point, though.
They
So I'm
could. You could
gonna
have
go.
Fallon Henley turn on her. She retains. There's ways to have it work, but
I'm gonna go with JC Jane, but I'm not confident.
okay. I'm gonna stick still stay with JC Jane. I don't think Fallon Henley is getting the win. Excuse me, Lola Vice is getting the win here. A lot of people seem to think it's just going to be as simple as, oh, Fallon Henley cost JC, and it could be that simple, but it feels like there's going to be something more than that being the payoff. I almost feel like they would end it with like Fallon versus JC instead of Fallon like costing her the title. Like Fallon end
And
up
I don't think, and the
trying to
thing is,
take the title.
you could keep them both heel as well.
Yeah,
Like, I hate to be reductive like this, but just the two of them, because they're such bitchy characters,
yeah,
having a like who can be the most bitchy match would be a lot of fun.
absolutely.
Lola Vice just comes out and clocks both of them, takes the title, says "fuck both of you, I'm out."
It certainly
Um,
is a fun go of it, but I'm still thinking that JC retains. I'm stuck on that.
Sticking with the ladies, and somebody that's been rumored to sort of take Jasmine Nick's place in the Fatal Influence. That's a rumor going around right now, and that's Lainey Reed, who
Yes.
landed on the scene a couple weeks ago and has been killing it so far. Is going up against Sol Ruka for the, wait for it, WWE Women's Speed Championship.
Yeah, go figure. So she went ahead and kind of came out of nowhere. She came from Evolve, and we saw her
Mhm.
first kind of come out with the women's title, you know, make claims towards it. And she had that brief introduction where she was just like, hey, this is me, this is who I am, and this is what I'm all about. I'm a Southern bitch, basically.
Yep.
And I feel like she's worked. Her character's gotten even better each week. She's told a really good story with the speed tournament. It's given her a couple of solid wins over some notable names, and I feel like she's kind of in the right step, you know, progressing properly. She's where she
Now,
should
as we
be.
know, the
So
Speed Championship is a special match that's, or sorry, it's a special title that has divided opinion. It is not a contenders match though, so it is not 3 minutes. It's
no, it's
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah. So that's
Are
interesting.
they gonna have the weird mood lighting at the pay
Yes,
per view?
that's absolutely going to happen. So they're sticking with that. It is interesting to
See, I don't
have this
care.
match at a pay-per-view because it can only be a maximum of 5 minutes.
Yep.
I wonder if they're
Well,
ever
this
going
is
to
why I
shock
said
us and do it in like 10 seconds.
this is why I said like, okay, WWE recently has been doing the 5 match cards. You can't do a 5 match card if one of them's for the speed title.
Yeah, they're going to have to add one more, but
I just, and I know we said this before, this continues to be so funny for me because I don't care enough about this for it to make me super excited, and I don't care enough about this for it to piss me off. The people
yeah,
that are getting so wound up and acting like this ruins the show and it's so cheesy, literally go take a piss.
I don't understand the hate
Like,
for it because it is only a 5 minute
mhm.
thing. So, I mean, no matter what, like in the very worst scenario, it's over in a piss break.
And I don't
And
think they're asking you to take it super seriously.
no,
It's
but it's
just a
also a
thing
great
that's there.
starting point for
Yeah.
Laney, for others. It was a good belt for Soul to win. Like there are good points to have here with this, and it's a simple title
It
to
got
elevate
Candice LeRae
people.
back on TV.
Yeah, it's a
Let's
very
be real for a second.
simple belt that's good to elevate
Yeah.
people. That's the best thing for this. It gets to move people forward and up, and it frees up the the double champ to keep defending things elsewhere. So she'll be the single champ, but for how long will she
Yeah.
have that North American title? I don't know. We'll see.
I
Because
was gonna say, I definitely think Lainey Reed's winning, and if it's the reveal of, um, you know, Fatal Influence come down and help her win so that she can be on their team and help JC later on in the night. Super simple story, but it could be a way as well for, like, if Fallon Henley goes after Sol Ruka for her other title, it could be a different way of getting, "Hey, Fatal Influence, we've got all the belts, da 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 da."
yeah,
Treating the speed title like a title, but
they
yeah,
are now though. They are treating it
the
like
fact that
one.
the
So
belt literally looks like a speedometer is makes me laugh. I like it a lot.
rev that
It's
engine.
fun. Yeah. Remember friggin' what was the pay-per-view Overdrive?
Overdrive,
Where the
yes,
whole
or over the limit.
where the all the fight graphics were just like the
Yes,
speedometer going like way over and breaking
we
the
had
thing there.
over the edge. We had over the limit, overdrive, all that stuff. Roadblock.
Overstimulated. What?
Yeah, ADD ridden.
Okay,
We got it
so
all.
we've had one women's match. We've had two women's matches. Let's throw a bone to the guys. Pause. Um, the only singles match that doesn't have anything else attached to it, and I always have a soft spot in my heart for that match on a card.
Yes.
Just two guys that in very different ways have been doing awesome character work have been doing awesome things to define themselves in the ring, and I'm pretty sure are almost perfect opponents for each other for where they are in their respective careers at the moment. Javon Evans and Josh Briggs.
Yeah, this is perfect for these two. You know, not crazy about Briggs. I don't dislike him. I think it was him and Inamura having that back and forth that just wasn't capturing me. Because since he's
Yeah.
been working with Javon, I like this character of Briggs. I like the intensity. I like the viciousness that he has about him. He's just been more forceful and effective. And I like that Javon is not a total opposite, but he is slimmer, faster, and there's always that element to it as well. So
You got one guy that can fly and one guy that won't mind throwing.
yeah, he could throw him around
Do
like
you
a
know what it
rag
is?
doll.
Like, obviously, like, the crowd has adopted Javon Evans. Like, he's in, right?
Yes.
Josh Briggs, and I don't know whether you'll agree with me in this comparison or not. Josh Briggs right now, coming into his own, getting comfortable in his character, whatever, is like a jacked Baron Corbin.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Baron Corbin,
absolutely.
when he first like when it was old, Full Sail, black and gold NXT, and he was just the superstar guy in amongst all the indie guys that was just like, I'm just gonna come out here and be a dick, and I kind of like being a dick. And Josh Briggs has kind of settled right into that. And it's just like, I watch you punch somebody in the face because you can, because you want to hurt them and then enjoy hurting them.
Yeah.
It sounds super simplistic, but
It
he's
works
taken it, and
so well.
when he faked out Javon Evans with the Undertaker gong, I cackled out loud.
It was fun.
And it's just like he's just like, "You're pathetic, man. You're a piece of shit. Like, what are you doing? I'm just gonna kill you. It's
Yeah.
fine.
It's fine. I'm
Like,
just I'm just gonna
get back here and
destroy
let me
you.
kill you some more."
Exactly.
It's Mayor Quimby. "Get back here. I'm not through demeaning you." I shouldn't do voices, it's fine. I don't think Javon Evans gets the feel good win here. I think Javon Evans comes out there, plucks everybody's heartstrings, and Josh Briggs deflates the room.
You stole the words from my mouth. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Must have been when you were kissing me.
it
I'm in a
it
weird mood tonight.
You know it, baby. Hey, it had to happen because Javon needs to play on those heartstrings, and who better to do
Mhm.
it than Javon? He is great. Like you said, he's been just totally adopted by the audience. Everybody loves him and wants him to just be that
I do think
guy.
Javon
So,
Evans eventually, and it might not even be this year. I do think Javon Evans is going to fall down, like hit rock bottom, come back around to one of his old nemesises, and he'll be the one to take the North American title off of Ethan Page. Spoiler alert, I
mm,
don't think Tavion Heights is beating Ethan Page this Saturday. I love the
so
fake out. I love the El Hijo de Dr. Tavion Heights
they
that was
did a great job there.
on
I was more
NXT.
impressed that they hid all of Tavon Heights' hair underneath the Dr. Wagner mask. That was more impressive to me than anything else because,
People were saying, did you see the people online is like, "Oh, there's no way they did it that well. They must have just used a filter on TV." What?
right.
What
They,
are we doing?
what are,
It's not
and
Instagram.
people are
What are we
obsessed
doing?
with AI. I mean, from,
Oh.
assassinations onwards, people are just thinking it's not happening. So,
Hey, and if you like AI, let me suggest to you now that season 1 is over, go check out Alien Earth. It's a lot of
hey,
fun.
there you
Spaz
go.
likes fucked up stuff. Thanks for coming out if you're new.
The more horror, the better.
Um, Tavion Heights is crazy though. I think him and Miles Bourne breaking away from Charlie Dempsey, doing their own thing, is going to end up with them just being a tag team
It was brilliant.
eventually.
It needed to be done.
Yeah, of
Couldn't
course,
have
yeah.
happened any sooner
Charlie
either.
going off to Noah, just like he went off to Bloodsport, to sort of like, he's, even though he's a heel, he's sort of going to other places and carrying the NXT flag, so to
Yes.
speak, which I think is really cool. Um, but yeah, not much to say. I love the stuff Ethan Page is doing right now. The stuff that Ethan Page has done with Chelsea Green, which rumors are that may continue on the main roster, all good. Chelsea Green's amazing. Like, there's not enough we can say about Chelsea Green, but Ethan
No.
Page
And we're sending
with
thoughts
his
and prayers to Piper
obnoxiously,
Niven. My God,
oh
that sucks.
fuck yeah,
You
not
know?
not
But
on, man, not on at all.
no.
But Ethan Page being out there with his tremendously tacky Canadian North American title belt.
It's a
It's
beautiful thing.
fantastic.
It's so goddamn fantastic. And
It's the best Canadian flag. It's fantastic. Just don't take any Tylenol. Fine.
yeah,
I would
no.
never I would never say that. That's what they tell me.
Acetaminophen. What's what with the stock dropping? Hey
Oh,
now.
I love the fact that Tylenol even came out and said something. Anyways, we're not doing that. It's fine.
How could
Fine.
they
Don't
not?
worry about it. Yeah, but nobody liked what they said.
Mm.
Ethan Page is gonna hold on to his title. It's red and white, just like a Tylenol bottle. Moving on. Where was I?
Swiftly.
Moving swiftly on. Um,
Yeah, no, Ethan Page is retaining. I agree.
yeah. I think after everything that's gone down, and because I don't think this is gonna be the main event, I think this is where we coordinate Ricky Saints. I've got a feeling. The
I would like
fact
to
that
hope so. What more can they do with Obafemi, realistically?
I don't know. I really don't. Um, I saw people and I was like, trust me, I'm down for any crazy idea to spike some interest in NXT and do something unexpected. The people out there that are thinking the next challenger for Obafemi is going to be Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's not coming to NXT.
No, they
I
said they wanted
trust
Brock
me,
Lesnar to work with what's his name, Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. So we'll see what
yeah,
happens.
trust me, I would love never mind a match, just the visual of Brock Lesnar in an NXT ring would be fantastic.
Oh yeah,
The world would melt. All the people that claim they've never watched a lick of NXT would all of a sudden have it in 4K on their screens just so they could complain about it, but it's not happening. Um, yeah, there's gonna be some fuckery. Maybe this is where the TNA folks run in. I do think the way that they ended NXT and a visual isn't everything, but sometimes a visual can tell you a million things. After the invasion kicked off and everybody ransacked the ring, because realistically their problem is with Trick Williams
yes,
initially. Their problem will be against the whole roster, but it was initially with Trick Williams. Trick Williams didn't lose his TNA title. Obviously, Obafemi didn't lose his NXT title. So those two stories go back to being separate again. With all the craziness behind them, what was in the forefront was Ricky Saints and Obafemi both reaching for the belt.
yes,
Now, transpose that onto the weekend where everybody else is distracted by what's going to happen, who's going to come in from TNA, what's going to fuck with what,
yeah. Who's going to
who else
interfere?
who else is there that wants to fuck with Obafemi. Obafemi has passed with Moose,
Yeah,
just as one example, right? Um to be the one person that rises up for Ricky Saint's story, to be the one person that ignores the chaos, focuses on himself, focuses on the task at hand, rises above and out of the what's his name? Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, where he says chaos isn't a pit, chaos is a ladder.
yes,
Let Ricky Saints be the one to climb that ladder.
yeah. With everything going on, Ricky benefits from it, and that is kind of the way to protect Obafemi while still getting Ricky over as well. So
Yeah. I don't think, and I mean, with the initial way they presented Ricky Saints, like the minute he walked in the door, I don't think it's going to take anything from Obafemi having him lose because Obafemi has lost. I
yeah,
forget who he lost to. Didn't he lose to like Tony D or something?
Tony
By the
D.
way, by the way, where the hell's Tony D? He
Yes,
was in
he's
that restaurant where he disappeared, and then he actually disappeared.
yeah, that's been it.
Friggin'
So
Stacks is distracted with his girlfriend. We haven't seen Adriana Rizzo in time and days. I think she's injured. The family disintegrated. One of them even
family's
went and hung out in
nothing.
the mud.
I know, like you said, we got Stacks busy with the ladies. So in the interim,
Crucifino out there looking like Italian carrying cross.
yeah,
Fine.
it works. But
Um,
I guess the thing with Tony D is he's supposed to be brought up. So they were done with the Tony D character apparently in NXT. That was their mindset behind killing him off, like the
I
Sopranos.
am still excited slash terrified to see how they treat that character on the main roster.
Yeah, and apparently
I want to I
it's
want to go in with hope. I'm going in with trepidation.
yeah, it's supposed to be one of those things where they're supposed to rebrand him going up. So we'll see what
Oh,
comes of
see that,
it.
and that's lame too.
You're supposed to have a new character. That's supposed to be
Yeah,
everything done with the
with the Dawn.
with the Dawn's arc at this point.
All right. So
So yeah, I
Last
agree. Ricky Saints is gonna go ahead and he's taking this bad boy home with him. He's gonna take this title out, and he's gonna be the next NXT champion. Mark it down. Check that
stamp it.
off your bucket list and stamp it on my bingo
Exactly.
list because it's happening.
So now we come to what I think is going to be the main event, and what I hope is a hell of a rehab job from a disappointing match at the last pay per view.
Yeah,
Two people I really like that had a really disappointing match from Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe in a weaponized steel cage, as
not
made
just a steel
official.
cage, a
A weaponized
weaponized steel
steel
cage.
cage.
Now that's something else, huh? We don't see that too often.
War games. Not really
Of
though.
all times, we're gonna need some war games soon. When you look at everybody fighting on this roster, it's coming sooner than later. Well, they need to have war games back with NXT. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
But,
they can do.
but,
Yeah,
yeah, I liked war games better with NXT than the main roster, anyways. Myself, it felt more like an
fair. Yeah,
NXT thing to me, like it belonged there.
mm,
Because they really
fair.
main rostered it up. Like with NXT, it always felt like it was building each year, and like they really thought out how is this all going to come down to war games, and that really was usually the blow off or the
Yeah.
payoff or like
I don't know.
and
I might push back on you a little bit there. I don't think they've done too badly with the stories leading into war games. I think the main roster war games have maybe faltered on the night a little bit.
yeah, the matches haven't
The
lived
most,
up to what the stories have. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. They
I
kind of
mean,
main roster it up a little bit.
you had 1 2 years ago where the match itself was overshadowed by the returns of Randy Orton and CM Punk.
Yeah,
So we got to be fair about it as well.
no doubt.
Um,
But
thing about it is, even if they leave the what was I gonna say? Even if they leave the War Games gimmick to the main roster, I would love it if TNA and NXT would have an old school Survivor Series match.
yeah, no kidding. The 5-on-5 traditional has
Yeah,
been sorely missed.
but no,
Absolutely.
it's one of those things that I always find funny whenever somebody says like, and people want to be like trendy and they want to feel like they're off the beaten path, whatever. And oh, I'm sick of the Royal Rumble and whatever. It's something that happens every year, right? When
Yeah.
people say that they're sick of Survivor Series, right? I'm like, you can't be sick of Survivor Series because Survivor Series keeps changing what it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
It
another
used to be,
PLE. Now,
but it,
you know,
but no, like the
it's got
definition of
war
Survivor
games.
Series. The definition of Survivor Series, it was the 4-on-4 matches,
Yep.
and most of the time
And then it
it
became the
was
five
two.
on five, and
Yeah, but, like, it
yeah, it
changed in
constantly
its
evolved.
mentality.
Yeah,
It used to be, like, 2
absolutely.
tag teams versus 2 tag teams, and then when it went to 5, it was more like, you're a captain, build your respective teams," which was fine. Then you did the deadly games, dun, 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 deadly games,
Tournament,
and then
one night only.
they took the theme from the actual bragging rights pay-per-view and just made that the Survivor Series thing for a while, which was
Yep.
fine. And then there's 2 or 3 of them that I can't think of off the top of my head where it's called Survivor Series, but it's just a regular pay-per-view of regular matches, and then they moved
Yeah.
it on to War Games. So what Survivor Series has changed so many times over time
Yeah, you
that
can't be sick of
the
it.
that you can't be sick of it because what it is has changed.
Then you're just
As
saying you're
much
sick
as
of WWE,
Yeah,
essentially.
but it was like, as much as I know you'd be lying, I would believe you more if you said you were sick of the Rumble,
Yes.
because the Rumble's changed with, like, number of people, is there a title on the line or not? They've only done it twice.
Gender,
Yeah, fair.
we've added that
But
too. So,
same for War Games as well,
yep.
where they introduced it and then they did the Ladies War Game. I think the first ever NXT Ladies War Games was that the one where Dakota turned on Tegan Knox
I
in the
think
cage and
so.
just, like,
Yeah.
wrecked her.
Smashed her knee and yeah, fucked her up. That
And
was,
then it ended up being, like, Candice LeRae and Rhea Ripley had to hold up the entire
it's,
team against the other 4 women.
yep.
Still one of the coolest turns in NXT
Love that.
next to Tommaso Ciampa being the, post-credit killer.
Yes.
But
And how they
anyways,
broke our
moving
hearts with
swiftly,
that.
they broke our rebel hearts or our black hearts. Did
Oh.
we take it to one final beat, which people
Uh,
like to pretend was bad? Um,
I always
anyways,
loved that too.
I think as far as what do you wanna say, like a cinematic match, as it had to be at the time. One Final
Yes.
Beat doesn't get the credit it's deserved.
No.
And the other one that I like is way, way, way back in the day when you had the NXT Four Pillars in the what was it, the four-way Iron Man match?
Oh yeah.
Gargano, Ciampa, Cole, and Balor.
Yep.
Two matches in NXT history that will never, ever, ever get the credit that they deserve because people are petty and weird.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I forgot
Jordan
about
Grace,
that
Blake
match.
Monroe, there's gonna be a cage, there's gonna be weapons. It's
Lots of weapons.
gonna be good.
Big cage.
Hopefully they get to spill a bit and get a little bit bloody and whatnot. And
We know Blake's not opposed to getting bloody. You know,
nope.
she's bled
Does
for
she come
her.
down? Does she come down with the shoe?
That would be a little too on the nose, but I think she's gonna have a maybe a
Well,
high
don't hit her in
heel
the
in
nose with
there.
it.
You know, she'll have a weapon in there somewhere. Trust, you know that'll be a callback, something like that. I see happening.
Tell you what, if Blake Monroe comes around, I'll. Anyways,
We'll hold off on that.
what did the 0 say to the 8? Nice
Ah,
belt.
oh,
I'm an asshole. It's fine. I think Blake Monroe's going to win, and I think Blake Monroe is going to do something horrible to Jordan Grace either during or after the match.
yeah, because you can't just kill off Blake right away, and what do
Nope.
you do with Jordan? And you know, so it's kind of a Jordan's been losing and losing and losing, so you can keep telling this story of like she just can't get it done. Because it is an interesting, because everyone thought she was just going to show up and just wreck shop and that was it. You know, we thought
Yeah.
that was going to be her job. She comes in, gets the title, and leaves. And they've really, defied expectations with this because that's not been the case at all whatsoever with this. So
Mm.
lo and
I'm
behold,
wondering
we've not
I'm
gotten
wondering,
that.
does it have a special situation? Because obviously, like a steel cage is designed so that nobody else can get in. So of course somebody's gonna come in.
Yes.
People are gonna accuse me of stealing from AEW, but it's not stealing from AEW because it's happened since the beginning of time. Um, Mariah May, Blake Monroe playing the sort of cinematic crazy person, femme fatale, mostly crazy person. Does she find herself a crazy protege?
You know,
With with
could
the
be
with the
looking.
dramatic with the dramatic themes, does she find a crazy understudy, so to speak?
I don't know who that would be yet, but yeah, I could see,
If
like
she
Julia
if
has
she
Kiana
wasn't
James, she could do that over. So
if she wasn't in the culling, I would say Tatum Paxley would be perfect.
yes, but I like what her and Izzy are doing. I like how they had Izzy mind game her up with
Yeah, yeah.
Lyra.
Oh, no, no, no. Trust me, I like the stuff that,
I'm not
Tatum
saying to
Paxley's
change it.
doing,
I'm just making a side note to make sure we bring that up because
but I think it
they've
I
had
think it
some
would be
great story there too.
it would be an interesting thing to bring back, though, because the first person to leave NXT and cross the line into TNA to answer a Jordan Grace open challenge was Tatum Paxley.
Yeah. So
So what comes around is all around.
yeah.
I'm going with Blake, and I think something crazy is going to happen. I don't know what that crazy thing is going to be, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not sure what they're going to have happen here, but something's going to happen big. It has to. I mean, I'm not so certain it's going to be the main event. I still think the men's is going to be, although I prefer it be this match, admittedly. But I think Blake Monroe wins. Not to just agree with you, but it seems like that's where they're headed. Like that's that. Jordan's going to lose. She continues to not be able to get the job done. That's weighing on her heavily. It's affecting her. And we're in the meantime holding out, waiting to see what happens with where does Blake go next from here. And when they do eventually cross paths again, is it when Blake is champion and Jordan's going for the title, or is it there's a bunch of possibilities. So
And you know what it is? And one final thing I'm going to say, just looking back up and down the again, and I know we beat this drum all the time when we're talking about NXT, but I got to talk about the ladies division in NXT again. Jordan and Blake in a very, very well realized feud that's going to a stipulation at a natural time. JC Jane and Lola Vice at very different parts in their career, but they're both reaching peaks at the right time. That match is going to be fantastic. Sol Ruka, who everybody's on board with, who's currently a double champion. Lainey Reed, her first pay-per-view, to the best of my knowledge, in a very, very much a proving ground type situation. The ladies are killing it. And even if Ricky Saints has his crowning moment tonight, they'll still have to go a certain amount of distance to be the moment of the night, compared to some of the ladies on this card.
Absolutely.
So shout out to the ladies. They're doing good. As I said, it might be with Jake or it might just be myself, gonna cover some more generic news and notes type stuff. Not all of it is positive, but we'll give it the conversation it deserves one way or the other.
Absolutely.
So look for that sometime tomorrow. I'm gonna try and put this up as a live premiere. So all of you that have been following along in the chat, thank you very much. And for those people, Jake, tell them where to find you.
You can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/Jake DeMarco. You can also find me on Twitter/X or on Instagram and on Rumble, all at Countdown Ended. You can find me over on Spotify. Look it up into somewhere. You can find us on TikTok. It's Jake.CountdownEnded. And you can also go ahead and catch me on the State of Wrestling on the Spaz Phoenix podcast channel. That's right. Everywhere podcasts are sold.
And you guys know where to find me, or you wouldn't be here. I've been Spaz. This has been Jake. This has been a whole lot of NXT and TNA chat, but we did manage to preview two pay-per-views somewhere in the middle there. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I will talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, me and Super Sexy Jake are tagging out. Bye, guys.